Hello, let's continue in section 3.1. Last time we talked about adding and subtracting polynomials. Now we're going to be talking about multiplication. And so in order to do that, let's review over the distributive property. That's something that we need to make sure we understand well for this. So the distributive property is telling us that we need to distribute whatever number is on the outside here to both of the terms on the inside. And when I distribute it, I'm connecting those with multiplication. So 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times -5 is -15. Over here, we have -5 that needs to be distributed to both. -5 times 1x is -5x. And -5 times +4 is -20. Okay, so just a little review there, because you're going to see down here how we're going to be using it in a very similar way. So on this, we've got a monomial. So remember, monomial means one, and it means one term. Polynomial means many terms. So we've got a monomial and we've got a binomial that it's being multiplied by. So I'm going to take that 3x and distribute it through, and I'm going to multiply those together. So I'm going to write this out separately. So this is saying I'm going to do 3x times 2x plus 3x times 7. All right, but now let's take a look at this, because we've got to be careful because there's different rules for multiplication. When I combine these together, 3 times 2 is 6, and x times x, there's little invisible ones here that we need to remember about, because when it's connected by multiply, remember our properties of exponents say that we've got to add those exponents together. So x to the first times x to the first is x to the second. And here, 3x times 7. Remember, they don't need to be like terms to multiply together, only with adding and subtraction. So we're going to multiply the coefficient with that 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. And make sure we don't forget about our x there. And then we'd want to look and see if there's any like terms that we could add or subtract together. And there's not. So we are done. And there is our answer. Okay, over here, we've got a monomial multiplied by a trinomial, right? This one has 3 terms. And notice that we have a negative number on the outside, right? So we've got to be careful with that. Negative 2x squared times 5x to the third. So I'm going to write that over here. So negative 2x to the second times 5x to the third. All right, and then let's look at the next one here. I'm going to have plus negative 2x squared times 3x squared. And we've got negative 2x squared, and we need to multiply it by negative 2x. So plus negative 2x squared times negative 2x. And you can do this part in your head, right? You don't have to always show this out, but I'm showing it just to make sure everybody is seeing why it's positive or negative, how we're combining those together to get the exponent that we get on these. So when we multiply negative 2 times 5, we get negative 10. X squared times x to the third. We've got to add those exponents together, because remember, it's connected by multiply. So x to the 2 plus 3 is the 5th power. Now we've got negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then we have x squared times x squared, which is x to the 4th. This one we've got -2 times -2. That will give me a +4. And then x squared times x is going to give me x to the 3rd power. Because remember, there's an invisible 1 there, and we're adding those exponents together. There's no other like terms to combine together, so I am done at that point.